Welcome back to another episode of Against the Insanity. We've got Jason and Ricky back in house recording another episode for you guys. What's going on, Ricky? How was your weekend?
Oh, pretty good. Pretty good. Went out riding for a little bit on Saturday. That was good. Weather was good up until about like 5 p.m. Then it got like real cold all of a sudden. But it was good. Yeah.
That's one thing about being back east, the weather, dude. Just like,
right. We actually ran into snow. Like I woke up Saturday morning, I was getting all my shit ready. You know, here at my house, there was no snow. But then when I was heading up north, like all of a sudden, like I just saw like 2 inches of snow like on the side of the road. I'm like, dude, what the hell? Like from traveling just a few feet, it was like from no snow to having, that much on the ground already. I'm like, holy shit. So
yeah, that's fucking nuts. That's like out here, fucking rain, dude. Like it's raining here right now, even. It's fucking raining all goddamn day. Ridiculous.
Right. It's windy as hell right now, but other than that, we're good.
Yeah, I was fucking playing some fucking Warcraft this weekend. Just me and Amy actually, we went down to San Diego on Saturday to like a tiny home van life festival. So we get some ideas about building out our van and shit. And we're taking a look at some of the, the bathrooms and stuff that people build into them. And, basically what's going to work, how 2 dogs is going to work. And me and Amy, traveling in a fucking van. So any ideas we can get, the better. And some of those tiny homes were cool. I mean, I wasn't impressed with some of the tiny homes there, but they did have some cool stuff like some collapsible homes and shit. And I really like the container homes that people build out of those shipping containers. Yeah. Those are freaking cool. Like I wish I could have got in there, but there were some like lines to wait to get into some of them. And I'm like, I really don't want to wait in a line. I'd rather just breeze through it real quick.
Yeah. But for some reason, they've been popping up in my like social media feeds lately as well. Like those shipping containers you're talking about and people making them into like living quarters and shit. And yeah, I agree. Like some of those, they look pretty cool.
Well, the guys from one of my podcasts, the guys from Mysterious Universe, dude, they actually had a recording studio built in a shipping container. I forget what company they said, but that's what they're where they record. They meet together in that shipping container studio and they do the shows and stuff from there.
That's pretty cool.
Obviously they go back to their respective homes. So I think that'd be pretty fucking cool, dude.
Nice.
Putting one of those in the desert. We're good.
Yeah. Nice.
So when you got back on Sunday, did you happen to catch the Oscars?
Fuck no. No, absolutely not.
To be honest, I didn't even know they were going on until I heard them bring it up on like one of my other podcasts I listened to. And I'm like, who the fuck still watches the Oscars? And I thought that would be a kind of good lead into like some of our stories today, because according to the numbers, not very many people. So there was, I guess they said there was like a 12% increase from last year. But if you kind of look at the numbers over the last few years, like starting back in 2019, you've got 29.6 million viewers. And then you've got 2020 kind of jumps up a little bit to 29.6 million users. And then in 2021, you've got 10.4 million viewers. And then it kind of gradually goes up a little bit. You've got, 2022 with 16.62 million viewers, and then you've got 18.7. But it just goes to show you, like, back in like 2000, you used to have like 46.33 million users.
Yeah, dude, almost, 46 million people, and now it's down to, well, this year anyway, 18.7.
Well, we know why that is. I mean, do we really need to question why? So do we all want to sit around and watch a bunch of fucking overpaid clowns that pretend in Hollywood give themselves awards?
Right. Yeah. I have no interest. Fuck that shit.
No, and these are the same fucking people who preach to you about their fucking high horses about do this and don't do that and blah 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 this and don't be fucking racist. But then you've got people like fucking Jimmy Kimmel hosting the fucking Oscars who openly did fucking like blackface and shit like that. It's like, dude, I've seen your early episodes of the fucking Man Show. You are nobody to fucking talk about any of this shit.
Yeah. He's done some questionable shit in his career, and I just find it funny that, all of a sudden, he's, I don't know if you want to call it a changed man, and he's so good now. And like, no, you did a lot of fucked up shit before. Like, it doesn't, all automatically go away.
It's a fucking sellout. I mean, I can't really say I've ever been a real big fan of Jimmy Kimmel.
No,
I just don't like him.
no, I don't either.
Fucking loser. And I fucking can't stand Hollywood most of all. And I would never in my fucking wildest dreams ever fucking watch the Oscars. You know, after that whole the only thing that ever interested me about the Oscars was the Will Smith slap last year. And, you know, that dude, for all I care, is a cuck. So,
Yeah, G.I. Jane, can't wait to see it.
ain't that the fucking truth? She's a fucking weirdo, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of more,
honestly, but yeah,
well,
go ahead.
That's his own fucking fault.
Yeah.
But speaking of more woke bullshit and, you know, having to deal with all this stuff, this other report I got here from Breitbart News: NYPD officers stepping down in 2003 at record-breaking pace amid crime wave. New York City's police officers are reportedly resigning at a record-breaking pace amid the crime wave sweeping across President Joe Biden's America. The shocking stats show 239 officers tapped out in January and February, a 36% spike from the 176 who fled the same period last year, and a disturbing 117% jump from 110 in 2021, the NYPD pension data shows. That's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah. So more and more people are just fucking like done. Like,
well, I mean, we've seen all the fucking crazy videos coming out in New York, dude. Like, I sent you guys that video of that dude getting shot in the face in front of his kid in a bodega. You know, the bodega owner that stabbed that guy trying to rob him. I mean, it's a fucking shit show. People getting pushed onto the train tracks and stuff. You had that guy around Christmas time that lit the fucking Fox News tree on fire, like
that's right.
Christmas tree on fire. And they said like the next day he was out like standing around the same place again, like where he fucking burned the fucking Christmas tree down.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know, man. It's crazy time right now. I mean, you know, for people that are in law enforcement and everything, like it's definitely got to be a trying time. Like, you know, I know many people that are in that, you know, profession, and
it's a thankless job.
Right. You feel like you can't do your job because, you know, you're going to be scrutinized or held to, you know, I don't want to say a higher standard, but like you're held basically like no matter what choice you make, you're wrong because you're a cop. You know what I mean? Like it's fucked up. Like, I don't know.
It's a fucking catch-22. And these big cities, I mean, if people need to learn anything over the last couple of years is you need to get the hell out of the city. I understand like the city has like a vibe and a way of life, but it's not that vibe and way of life anymore. It's crime-ridden in fucking New York. You got to worry about getting stabbed or beat the fuck up when you walk down the street. And I mean, it's not the New York it once was.
No.
Because of these fucking woke policies and these politicians that don't want to hold these people accountable for fucking breaking the law. It's not safe.
No. I don't know what the solution here is. I mean,
Ricky, we know what the perfect solution is. Everybody needs to pack some heat.
Pack some heat. Yeah.
That should bring us up to our next story.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about, this is kind of like a two-parter. So on March 2nd, an article came out. I grabbed this from Fox News, but basically Discover Financial to reportedly track gun store purchases starting in April. The company behind Discover credit cards will reportedly be joining a large initiative to track when cardholders make purchases at gun stores. Multiple payment processors such as Visa, MasterCard, American Express have already joined a massive project to separately categorize gun shop sales. The move has been hailed as a victory for gun control advocates who argue that a separate categorization for gun store sales will help monitor suspicious activity that could lead to mass shootings. Gun rights advocates, on the other hand, have warned this could bring unwarranted scrutiny on the overwhelming majority of law-abiding gun owners. Discover credit cards told Reupload it will allow its network to track purchases at gun retailers come April, making it the first among its peers to publicly give a date for moving forward on the initiative, which is aimed at helping authorities probe gun-related crimes. The same article went on to claim Discover's announcement came after the International Organization of Standardizations, which decides on the classification of merchant categories used by payment cards, approved in September, the launch of a dedicated code for gun retailers. Discover, they made a statement basically, we remain focused on continuing to protect the support lawful purchases on our network while protecting the privacy of cardholders. I don't understand how, you're going to protect the privacy when you're basically looking at transactions that people are making using your card. And basically, I don't know if they're planning on pushing that transaction to the government, police department, federal,
or the feds, most likely the feds.
right? How are you keeping it private? You're not, because if you see something, you're reporting the shit. One noteworthy nuance of the tracking system is that it monitors the total purchase made in a gun store. Rather than distinguishing the specific item bought, purchasing supplies such as guns, safes, or hunting gear, for example, would count towards the same purchase categorization in the same way a person would if they exclusively bought firearms and ammunition. So, like, if you went to the gun store, whatever, and you bought a safe, safes are expensive, it could be a few $1,000s. Are you automatically going to be,
flagged?
That transaction? Yeah, are you going to be flagged and then the cops show up at your house? Hey, we saw that you spent $5,000 at whatever store you think of. We need to look into this. It's like, I bought a fucking safe, dude. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? It's not keeping your shit private whatsoever. I mean, if you're going to look at all the transactions and you're going to deem them, oh, well, that person spent $1,000. We don't know what that is. We should look into that further. Like, what are you protecting here?
Yeah.
I really question, this shit, because they're saying, we're going to keep your shit private. Well, you're clearly not, because you're going to be flagged even if you buy something expensive, like a safe. Like, you're not protecting my shit or, my transactions or what I'm buying. And, bottom line is it's, I bought the shit. It's none of your fucking business, really, what I purchased.
Well, I'd like to make a public statement too. It's time for you to get another. If you have a Discover card, it's time for you to get a new credit card.
Right.
Because, I mean, this is what gets scary about it. Say down the road they come out and be like, well, we're not going to fine it. We're not going to back purchases made in gun shops. Mm-hmm. So anytime you say you want to go buy ammunition or something like that, your purchase automatically gets declined. Or, like we had talked about, all these purchases, you go in there, ammo's fucking expensive. You spend over, say you spend like $300-$400 on ammunition. It immediately gets flagged and fucking sent to the ATF or some shit like that. People need to be really fucking worried when it comes to these companies getting involved with this woke bullshit and trying to, track these purchases and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, take it out. You know what? It's funny. If you got a fucking card that you can take out cash on a fucking credit card, I think that's what you need to do to avoid any of this bullshit to begin with.
I mean, that's the thing too. I mean, they think that, we'll just, we'll put a credit card number here that basically specifies if you're buying guns or an ammo. But just that, to your point, like if you spend cash, that's just not being tracked. So what is this really doing? Especially when it's not only tracking a specific sale of a gun or ammo. Anything could go in the system here and it flag it as you bought something that you shouldn't. When it's like, It's not illegal to buy a fucking gun. I can buy a safe that's $5,000. I don't, you shouldn't get to the point where, you're going to be, someone's going to show up at your house. Oh, you spent $5,000 at whatever. We just kind of looking in to see what you're doing. Like, no, fuck you. I did nothing wrong. You know what I mean? And that's, that's just, the point here. And another thing too, here's a perfect example. You get some buddies together. You decide that you're going to have a range day. A bunch of people get together. We're going to shoot guns this day. A Saturday. Somebody goes to the store and okay, I'm going to buy some ammo because we're planning on having a range day with me and my buddies. All that. And let's say you do spend $500, $1,000, whatever the case may be. Did you break the law? No. You know what I mean? You bought ammo for an event that you're planning on doing with your friends at a range or private property or whatever you're doing. You know what I mean? So you didn't do anything wrong yet because of these classifications. In the system, you're a fucking felon because you bought 500 or 1,000, rounds of whatever. It's bullshit.
Fuck
So,
yeah.
yeah.
That's our right to, as fucking Americans.
Right. Yeah, we have the right to buy that shit. So, fuck you.
We got a right to drink burrs, shoot guns, go camping, and bitch about our fucking idiot president.
Right, absolutely. I find it funny, that article came out on the 2nd of March, and then this article I'm going to share with you, this is actually from CNN, of all places, on March 9th. This came out just this past Thursday. Under legal threat from GOP lawmakers, MasterCard and Visa pause plan to track gun sales. Visa, MasterCard, and Discover announced that they will pause a plan to implement a new merchant category code for the nation's gun retailers after political pressure from Republicans. The measure that was designed helped flag potential mass shooters and gun traffickers in the wake of mass shootings. Some financial companies, including MasterCard and Visa, have explored the possibility of tracking gun sales through payment systems. Advocates say this would help to track suspicious transactions of firearms and ammunition and could help flag potential mass shooters and gun traffickers. The merchant category code system would have separately categorized sales at gun and ammunition stores. Nearly every retail item has a merchant category code. Merchant codes track where a consumer used a credit card, but don't flag what specific items were purchased. So again, it said it here, again, 2 different sources. You got Fox News and CNN. It's not tracking the specific item that was purchased, just that something was purchased.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And again, if you buy a safe, that could be $5, $6, even more, $1,000. Are you going to have someone show up at your house?
Well, and here's the thing. So, like, you track the purchases for people who are purchasing firearms, legally. But you're not really, it doesn't help for these people who are obtaining these guns at somebody else's house or illegal methods. So, once again, the people who pay for it are you and I, who, are law-abiding citizens and wouldn't do such a fucking stupid thing.
Right.
But yet, we're the ones that pay the price. And that's what it comes down to, is to try to disarm us citizens from being able to defend ourselves.
Right. The ones that are doing nothing wrong are
Exactly.
the ones that get fucking punished for this shit.
Yeah,
and it's just take it into the simplest example. Like, people buy drugs all the fucking time. When you go buy drugs, you probably, I don't know, I'm not a user, but I'm just saying, you probably show up at a meet with cash. You know what I'm saying? You're not giving your dealer
smoking dog shit, man.
you're not giving your dealer your credit card. You know what I mean? If you're already planning on doing something illegal, I would think at least some people out there are smart enough to be like, you know what? I'm not going to put this on a credit card. I'm going to pay cash. Yeah. So this isn't going to fully eliminate the possibility of somebody buying something with the wrong intention. So what the fuck are we doing here again?
Yeah, like I said, it's a way to prevent, like I said, down the road, it's a way to prevent people from, I think, even purchasing firearms. It starts as, we're just trying to protect you. That's how this all starts out, from this bullshit from the government. We're trying to protect you. And then next thing you know, we're fucking, we're in Nazi Germany.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree.
Under the guise of fucking protection. And it's like, no, sorry. Ain't happening. It's none of your business what I fucking buy with my credit card. I got to pay my fucking bill to you every month. You know what I mean? I shouldn't have to justify my purchases.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Right. But it's just, it's bullshit. I don't agree with it. I'm glad that, there are people on the Republican side that are kind of fighting against this, and it's putting this at least on hold for now. But still, they say they're going to put it on hold, and, you and I both know, they were already planning on implementing this.
Yeah, this was coming for a while. I remember we've been waiting for this for a long time. Like, we've been hearing inklings of this. But, I'd be willing to bet there's more bipartisanship than you'll ever be led on to believe from CNN. There are Democrats that firmly believe in owning guns and stuff too, but their voices get drowned out by all these, the woke ones, because they all have to fall in line, you know what I mean? Or witness the boot, or, you're not going to get campaign funds or re-election, if you come out and speak out against, all this fucking woke garbage that they're pushing.
Yeah.
Which is one of the reasons why, the Democrats are in the situation they're in because of all this bullshit.
Right.
So, I mean, we're all in the same boat. We all need to be able to defend ourselves. And I think more and more people are figuring that out over the last couple of years of all this crime waves in the cities and shit. And, you need to be able to defend yourself. And it's not the credit cards company to fucking be able to step in and do this shit. It's just, you've got people who clearly suffer from mental health issues. You've got criminals that don't care about these laws. They're going to go find a gun any way they can, and they're going to use it, and they're going to cause harm. And unfortunately, there's not much we can do about it. You can't keep taking rights away from fucking, law-abiding citizens. It's bullshit. It needs to stop. This can't happen.
Agreed.
And speaking of fucking crazy, fucking woke bullshit, I mean, this is something that, I want to start doing on the shows, but I'm kind of calling it the fucking Baldwin Awards, shooting yourself in the foot or shooting someone else in his case. But these people, that are on the left, always, they're always very open about how they are. They're always posting shit on TikTok and stuff. And, this girl that I found today, I'm going to play a clip from her post on TikTok. It was reposted by Libs of TikTok. It's one of my channels I follow on Twitter all the time. But you just got to hear this for yourself.
I'm feeling spicy, so here's my hot take of the day. All white people are racist. Every single last one of them, all of them are racist. And I don't mean that to say like every single individual white person, if I talk to you, you would have some kind of racist ideology. I'm saying that as a white person, you uphold a system of racism by literally just being white. I believe if you're not spending your literal entire life dismantling racism, then you're contributing to its continuation. And people get so like, whenever like I say like people are racist, like why is it such a big fucking deal? Like, yes, you're racist. Like, okay, we've established that. Now what are you going to do to change it? Racism refers to power and race. If you are the powerful race in a society, then you're fucking racist. Like, I just don't understand why it's so taboo. Let's talk about it. Let's accept it so that we can work towards changing it. We're never going to get anywhere if people won't just fucking acknowledge it in the first place.
I mean,
what the fuck? How is she not racist? How is she not racist for saying what she just did, though?
Exactly. And I'm going to be the first to say it here, but when you look at her, she is very light-skinned. Like, the thing is like, you're being fucking racist. I mean, no matter what you say about fighting racism and shit like that, I am not in here. This is why, like, when I was a Democrat, this is one of the reasons why I jumped ship, because of people like this. Because no matter what I do, I'm fucking racist. And it gets to a point where you're like, fuck you, I'm out. I don't agree with this shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm tired of you fucking preaching to me. It's the same reason that I fucking tune out when people just start, preaching in general to me, because like, I don't want to fucking hear it. Okay. Like, I'm not a fucking racist person. I do not treat people differently. Like, fuck you. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of your explanations.
The one takeaway I do want to address with what she said, at the end there, she mentioned how, let's have a conversation about it. Let's have an open dialogue and try to fix this. But the way that she opened up the conversation was, she already made up her mind.
Yeah.
That every white person, regardless, ones that she's never met, just white people in general, they are all racist. So if you feel that way, what conversation is there to be had? Because you have already made up your mind on how you feel about whites. You are the fucking problem by talking that way. That is not going to fix a problem when you're going to sit there on your throne, if you will, and say every single white person that there is that exists, if you are white and you exist, you are racist. That is complete fucking bullshit, and she is part of the problem.
Well, and change the video around and change it to black people. Mm-hmm. And then what happens?
Right.
I'm called racist. If that was me saying the exact same fucking thing against a different, race of person, I'd immediately be called racist.
Right.
And like I said, I've heard it before. I've heard it in fucking high school. People fucking trying to call me racist and shit. And it's like, really? You don't even fucking know who I am.
Right.
I don't even discuss this shit around people. Like, so, all these people just making, prejudgments about who you are as a fucking person. And that's exactly what she did. There's no room for conversation when your mind's already made up.
Right.
And I'm not going to waste my time arguing with a fucking idiot.
Right.
And, well, it's not working.
You mean we're smoking dog shit, man?
Damn it. I fumbled that one. I thought I was going to kick off right away. But yeah, I mean, I want to start shining a light on some of these people too. That's something I want to include in the podcast, and we're going to call it the Baldwin Awards. But she definitely wins the Baldwin Award for the week because you're fucking racist.
That's the stupidest shit I've heard.
Yeah. Do not go past go. Do not collect $200. You're fucking racist.
Right.
So yeah, man, I mean, over the last couple of days, I've sent the podcast out to a couple friends and stuff, and we've definitely gotten some good feedback. I'd like to hear more feedback. Yeah, we really appreciate it, and we're going to be in the process of, we need to talk, Ricky, like after the show about like a PayPal and what that's going to look like, and also, I'm looking for other feedback, like any constructive feedback, like. Obviously, we've done podcasting before, but this is kind of like the first time where we've ever been in a situation where we're both really committed. Life kind of got in the way the last couple of times we've been doing this, so we had to kind of like walk away. But we really want to do more with the show, and we're definitely looking for more feedback. If you want to let us know, just email us at againsttheinsanity247@gmail.com. Shoot us an email, good or bad, or even drop something in the comments here on YouTube or Rumble. Right now we're not really hosted on like Apple Podcasts or anything like that. We just want to kind of do our thing here on Google, YouTube till we get kicked off. And, obviously we'll always have a home in Rumble, but, we want your feedback. Drop us, a line in the comments section and, let us know how we're doing. And, we'll go live hopefully, in a week or two with our, PayPal.
Yeah.
And, if you want to kick us money to the show and you really enjoy what you hear, throw us a couple bucks here or there as like a tip or whatever. We obviously don't want to be sponsored. That's going to be pretty hard to be sponsored, with some of the topics that we plan on covering on the show. It's going to be a little difficult. So we're putting our own labor of love into it. But yeah, man, just let us know. We really want to hear from you. And, if anything you want to hear on the show, I'm actually working on some games. We want to do some like live streams on Rumble. Ricky, that's another thing I want to talk to you about after the show. Kind of like that make a meme game, something similar to that. I don't want to let on too much, but it's something that we can play along with even, on live streams and stuff and have the chat chime in as well and everybody have a good time. But yeah, we're going to obviously go uphill from here. There's no going back now.
Right.
Well, thank you again for tuning into this episode of Against the Insanity. And until next week, we'll see you then.
Peace.